Earle is a TikToker. She's a TikTok star. And she's just out of college. She went to the University of Miami. She talks about that a lot. She got breast implants. She got big old titties. And she's got a podcast now.
Sounds like a good show.
Hot mess. Well, I'll let you be the judge of that, Andy. They did a Halloween show a couple days after Halloween. So similar to what you were looking at, we're going to see them all dressed up. We're going to see them with their
so much fun
Halloween costumes on. And this is the cold open for the show.
Happy Halloween, everyone! Do I sound like Santa Claus? Yes! Happy Thursday! Welcome back to Hot Mess with Alix Earle. We're getting in the Halloween spirit today. Even though Halloween was 2 days ago, it's okay. We have a lot to recap about Halloween. I think Halloween's my favorite holiday. And today we have our most requested guest on. She's been on the show before. She was a big whoop. She was Sebastian the Ibis. She is Hannah Knight.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
I've had some pretty crazy Halloweens over the years, so I just thought who better to call in than the only person that gets crazier than me.
I'm honored that you thought of me for that accolade. That's an impressive feat if you ask me.
And usually for Halloween, we go to Key West, and oh boy, do we have stories to tell you. It gets a little scary there.
Need I play another clip?
I hate this.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I rest my case. All right. So check out these Halloween decorations. These are the worst decorations I've ever seen in my life. So typically what you do is you take like cotton and you stretch it out to make it look like it's cobwebs.
Yeah.
What is this? What are they doing?
I couldn't figure out at first if it was stockings.
Fishnets from the night before.
Yeah.
What is going on? There's police tape for no reason.
Yeah, it's like the contents of a rape kit taped to a wall.
Okay, well, I guess that's a little spooky. He's pretty good. Yeah. All right, so that's the cold open, and then the intro comes in, and the intro is there to remind you that you like Alix because you've seen her on TikTok, and she has a great body and very big boobs. So forget about the fact that this podcast is impossible to listen to or watch.
They're totally covered up.
Right, but that's why this intro exists right here, to remind you of why you like her. Hot Mess with Alix Earle, and actually that is an appropriate title.
Alix with an I. Fuck off.
Yep, Alix with an I. So, just a reminder, everybody, that she's hot and she's famous and she's on TikTok. All right, that's why we all care about this show. So they're talking about every Halloween they would go down for the weekend to Key West from the University of Miami. And there's this crazy party going on down there that includes this swinger get-together. So all of these swingers go down to Key West, and they're explaining what they see when they walk around the streets here for the Halloween weekend.
Yes, and we hunker on down to Key West, and this town during Halloween weekend is filled with like naked old people. How do you describe it? Like,
I have never seen more saggy skin in my life.
Okay, so these ladies are in their early 20s. They're just out of college. They're like, oh, there's naked old people with saggy skin. Gross. I assume they're thinking like 40-something-year-olds because it's swingers, right? So,
no.
People in their 30s or 40s. Gross, right? I mean, we can all agree on that. But no, apparently that's not it.
And then you turn the corner and there's
an old man's ass.
Yeah, front and center, and then to the right and the left and down the street. And they're all with their wives who are equally as naked, and they're all chatting each other up. It's kind of a scene.
Maybe 80 years old plus. Like, yeah. It is the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life.
There's no fucking way it's 80-year-old plus naked on the streets of Key West in a swinger party. I'm not buying that. I know older people go to Florida, but I'm not buying this.
If it's true, there's hope for us all.
Well, right, yeah, for sure.
But don't go to the zoo if you don't want to see a rhinoceros. I mean, you knew what was going to happen.
I know, they go there every year. They explain they go there every single year, and this is what's going on. So then she shows her YouTube vlog from last year, and she goes, I made a vlog about this on my YouTube, and you can see what it was like, and it's all just young people partying. the entire time. So I'm like, no, this doesn't really add up to what you're saying.
So that's what it's like.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that just looks like a ridiculous shit show, but okay, if you say so. So they go down Friday. They get there at 4. They drive back on Sunday. And what happens is you get dressed up on Friday and you go out and you party from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. in that costume. Then you get up the next day and you change costumes and you go out for brunch and you hang out in the afternoon and get wasted. And then you go back to the hotel room or Airbnb and you change it to a third costume and go back out again. There's 3 costumes involved in one Halloween fucking weekend.
For this woman. Yeah.
No, for everyone.
No,
I swear to God, just explain that's what everybody fucking
Those
does.
are the rules, asshole.
Yeah.
Apparently, those are the fucking rules now. It's a lot of work to be a young person and party. Listen, I used to go to spring break. Andy, you've been there with me. We go out to spring break and shit like that. So I understand this culture, but never was I put that much work into it.
What were the naked 80-year-olds changing into?
Sock
If it was
after sock
everyone.
after
Yeah.
sock.
Yeah. Now I've got an elephant on my balls. It's brutal.
So then they explain what you wear because there's different types of attire for your costume each time you go out. Now, Saturday afternoon is going to be hot, sunny, or Key West, so dress accordingly.
Like you wear a bikini with something to like make it Halloween-y. Like I would wear a black bikini in this and be a witch. And then the other times where you have like your more serious but still naked costumes. I've slept fully through costumes before. Like every year that I go, my costumes don't go as planned. Like
Never.
I never make it to like doing all 3 of them to the full extent because you're just so disheveled. And like I literally one year just like took a cowboy hat off someone on the road and like put it on. I was like, that's my costume.
There we go. I'm done.
I never say this, but these poor parents.
Yeah, I know.
Could you imagine your young daughter's famous? You're like, oh, I'll watch your program, sweetie. Oh.
I'll make you a costume.
Yeah. And by the way, I did the research. Some of these costumes, like she goes as a witch, like she said or something, she's just in a bikini.
Yeah.
She just described that.
Yeah,
That's
I
literally
know.
the words she just said.
I know, but she's not exaggerating.
Not even a broom.
Yeah, I know. She can't even go the extra mile. So, anyway.
It's just the same black bikini, but she draws on like cat whiskers. Oh, I'm a cat now.
Right.
Now I
Yes.
got a hat. A
That's
witch
a good
hat
idea.
on. Yeah.
So then this other woman, Hannah, she's talking like we're all friends with their clique. So she's rattling off names. She goes, well, then you left on Sunday, but I stuck around with Denise and Kristen, and then Katie met us up, and then we went, and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? Who do you think this is for? This is a show that gets hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube. This fucking show. Unfortunately, it's very popular, which is annoying. So then they wrap it up. She had an interesting bender that she had.
So,
Oh my God, that's so funny. You could have died.
no, yeah, fully.
Death.
Alcohol poisoning, am I right?
Well, it sounds like everybody's having a great time on your show. People are meeting Jimmy Kimmel and partying in Miami.
Eating
I think we know who
tacos.
has the worst show over here.
It's also annoying that they're like, we're so crazy. We go on vacation and we drink too much. Yeah, you're 21. That's what you do when you're 21 and you go on vacation. I will say there is some good editing. You might have noticed there's a lot of editing on the show. So whoever is taking care of this for them, there's multiple camera angles and they're constantly clipping things, and you can tell there's hard cuts, and they pick good times to do the hard cuts because what's happening here is Alix is talking about there are these pirate ships that go down the street. Hannah was so drunk she didn't even know this was happening, but there's these pirate ships, and I guess she jumped on one of the pirate ships. So she starts telling that story, and thankfully the editor cut this off before it got embarrassing.
And I'm hanging on to the front of this pirate ship like I am the girl from Titanic, like this. I'm like, oh my God, naked. This is the pirate ship.
So she started singing My Heart Will Go On, and there's some hard notes in that one. So especially where she started, I think they probably got really rough. They're like, let's cut that right there.
They get it.
Yeah, it's pretty smart. Pretty good move right there. All right. So, and the other thing they do is they're constantly taking photos, the TikTok generation. So they're constantly taking photos and videos. So when they're talking about these stories, they do pull up video evidence of these things they're talking about, which is helpful for guys like me who have a
Wait.
semi.
Did they also meet Jimmy Kimmel?
They did not meet Jimmy Kimmel, no. They just met as kids.
Okay.
They were all there partying.
Got
His
it, got it.
great grandfather.
So Hannah tells this story about how she got rip-roaring drunk and then at some point ate a hot dog and decided to sprint back to the hotel for some reason. But she had a bit of a spill.
The next night, I was a firefighter. And someone while we were out at the bar was like, "Oh my God, how did you get your face burns to look so real?" I'm like, okay, this worked out.
You don't understand the severity of Hannah's face during this. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it was the most haunted picture I've ever seen in my entire life.
spooky.
And like, if you guys are looking at it now, for anyone listening, like you need to just, maybe if there's one thing you watch during this episode, it's just looking at these photos
Yeah.
of Hannah's face because
They're honestly golden at this point. At the time, it was not golden.
it's our most treasured photo.
So Hannah fell on her face, and she's a bloody mess, and they have multiple photos of it that they're sharing with us right now. This is the kind of fun
It's
they're
horrifying.
having. Yeah,
Also,
it's a little rough,
Can I
right?
point out that it kind of looks like in this one, which is the bloodied face, it kind of looks like she's using a filter on like her eyes. I feel like she might have used one of the beauty filters.
Well,
It doesn't look like road
with her
rash.
bloody
so
face.
the other thing that's happening here, for people who are listening, I'll describe this. She also had butterfly
I was going
tattoos.
to say it's Halloween
I can see
makeup.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she had butterflies all over her face mixed with the blood, the
I
road
thought she
rash.
fell on a butterfly.
So not to be outdone.
This is Mean Girl shit, Carl. The host is like, let's
Yes.
show those pictures
Yes.
where you look your absolute worst.
Yes, correct.
What
It's
a
our
fucking
favorite
asshole.
picture.
Not to be outdone, Alix is going to tell us a story of when things went awry for her during these Halloween vacations.
A sugary tequila drink mixed with like the nerves of talking to a boy, and all of a sudden I feel like, ooh, I'm like, wait, I feel a little wet between my butt cheeks.
It wasn't because of the guy.
A little shart had slipped out. I didn't know if I just shit my pants, so I'm like, oh, I really have to go. I run to the bathroom, and I sharted my pants in Fat Tuesdays.
Keep in mind, we're in bikinis. Like,
Yeah.
you are a brave soul.
I had like a white bikini. Oh no, I think I had like a pink bikini bottom on at this point, and I was like, holy shit! Like I
Not
just sharted my
anymore.
pants. Like
What did you? Could you say that slower, please?
I like how the other one says, not because of the guy. Like, when you want anal, you get wet there.
That is a unique talent, I will say. I brought lube, no bother. All right, fair enough. All right, so I'll give her credit. Much like John talking about his hemorrhoids, she's not ashamed.
Nope.
She's going to tell the story there. So she has another episode where she brings in. So that's her college friend. Her college friends are all crazy. She brings in her high school friend. She went to a Catholic high school. She brings in her high school friend for an episode. They were besties in high school, and Isabella is not ready for this world. She's a bit nervous to be on this show.
welcome to episode 3 of Hot Mess with Alix Earle. Today we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane. We're going back to high school. So I have one of my best friends who's been with me since high school, Isabella.
guys.
She's here. You might have seen her in some of my TikToks before. We were spread eagle on Cardi B's story this weekend. And we have a lot to share with you. What our high school was like, what we were like in high school, stories we have, and now we're doing basically this long distance friendship because we went to different colleges. So we have a lot to unpack. Isabella's a little nervous, so we're gonna take a shot to start this off.
I'm shaking,
Oh,
guys.
oh my God, are you shaking? Okay, don't shake.
Try not to shit your pants.
She's literally shaking. Okay.
So you heard that intro. I got Isabella here. We're talking about high school, all the crazy shit we were up to. We're going to tell all these stories. Isabella's like, there's a lot of people watching. So 7 minutes goes by and Isabella gets showed the door. So none of these stories happen. I don't think this worked out well at all.
That's definitely important if you have a friendship in high school
that you
You
want to
both
last.
have to make effort.
Everyone gets annoyed with my FaceTime calls, but they work. Thanks for coming on. This was so fun.
I'm gonna miss you. I miss you. She'll FaceTime me in a few hours.
Isabella's gone now, and I wanted to sit alone with you guys for this segment. This is something very personal, and I haven't really talked about online before.
All right, Isabella, your people are telling us you got to go. Apparently, there's someone waiting out in front. All right, we'll move on to the next segment of the show now.
That someone is the Uber driver I called.
All right, so now we've transitioned into another part of this show.
The wrap up.
She's in a different room in the house. She's got her hair pulled back. This isn't crazy party.
Seemingly
Alex.
a totally different show now.
She looks like she's about to do an apology. I'm going to be honest with you. This is apology
should.
Guys,
garb
my friend
101.
Isabella's a cunt.
Yeah.
I knew it going into it. I should have brought her on.
Yeah.
It's my
She
fault.
kept dropping ass in the bed and ruining my show.
ruining my
She
short
was very
story.
nervous. She had a nervous tummy. So this is great because we transitioned from I'm watching them talk about all this crazy partying, and I could have pulled a lot more clips of all the bragging they do about how wasted they get, all the fun they're having.
Cool.
She like hopped on a yacht and hung out on the yacht for 2 hours without anyone on the yacht knowing she was there. And so there's like all these crazy stories about parties, stuff like this. And then this happens.
Just want to have a trigger warning out there for anyone who may be triggered by the topic of eating disorders. I am going to be talking about my struggle with food back in high school. So if that is going to be a sensitive topic for you, I'm going to put on the screen what part of the episode you guys can skip to.
Okay. So now all of a sudden we went from fun and partying and looking at all my hot friends and all the shit we're up to, all right, now we're going to get real. We're going to get serious, and we're going to need to talk about some serious topics here. No, guys, fortunately, I am not triggered by eating disorders, so I was able to push through and watch this. So I do have a couple of clips here after the trigger warning. She talks about how tough it was for her in this high school where she just felt like she was so fat.
I would look in the mirror and I would see someone way bigger than the person that I was. And I couldn't understand, like I couldn't grasp. I was never happy with the image that I saw in the mirror.
She is now. Funny how that worked out. She's like, and then I got some boobs and a lot of boyfriends who went to college, and now I'm a TikTok star.
$1,800, $18,000 later.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
She's going to be doing fine with it. So all's well that ends well, as they always say. Now, this is just a weird clip. She's talking about how after she would binge, she would purge. She's talking about her eating disorder, and that's always fun. Anyway, but I want you to watch for the edits in this. This is a 3-camera shoot for some reason. And she uses them nonstop throughout this quick little thing where she's talking about a very serious thing she went through.
So much that then I thought, okay, well, this could all just go away if it all just came back up. If I just made myself puke, like I wouldn't have to deal with this. All those calories would be deleted. I could go on with my life. I wouldn't have to stress. And I can also kind of keep eating this food when I want to. I can still have a sandwich, but then if I just stick my fingers down my throat, you know, it wouldn't be a problem.
All right. Just that short little clip right there, it was 20 seconds. There were 7 different changes in the camera angle. I guess that was what made it interesting. Was the person just bored editing this thing? Just like, oh, what is she talking? What is she going on about?
I mean, I'm bored watching it.
Yeah,
Or she can't talk, and that was from 27 different takes.
Ah, that's an interesting point. That a lot of these TikTokers.
She kept throwing up.
A lot of these TikTokers are not good.
Well, maybe they're all different
editing.
TikToks. That's what TikTok is, right? They're just strung together here.
I mean, Andy, it's obviously horizontal aspect ratio. Duh. It's on TikTok. All right. So
you're working for the Chinese.
You're one of them. All right. So after we go through 15 minutes of this really personal, heart-wrenching story about an eating disorder and everything that she went through and figuring that out, and she tells people who are going through this, they can get help, and here are the resources you need. And so we've heard now, this is what I've learned about Alix so far. She fucking parties. She's got tons of boyfriends. She had an eating disorder. So obviously you're thinking what I'm thinking. She's got it all figured out. So of course, this is the next segment of the show.
Welcome back to another segment of What Would Alix Do? I've had you guys write in questions, scenarios for me, and I'm going to tell you what I would do in that scenario.
How is this a segment? She's the last person I would ask advice from.
Yeah. I need advice from somebody sitting in a giant inflatable vagina.
Yeah. All right, so I'm in my bikini and I shit myself. What would you do? It's funny you ask.
That's when I started wearing brown bikinis.
Brown panties. Okay. So I just thought that this was the worst possible segment. So let's see what kind of questions she gets from her audience.
My boyfriend refuses to post me on Instagram. I know his excuses are bullshit because he has other posts on there. What would Alix do?
All right. There got to be some follow-up questions. You can't just say that and be like, what would you do? Are you fat? Are you ugly? Are you both?
Embarrassing.
Yeah. That's usually what this is. That's probably the problem. You're probably not attractive enough for Instagram.
Yeah.
Have you considered being attractive?
Right.
Your boyfriend is cheating on you. He doesn't want anybody to know he has a girlfriend. That's what he's doing.
Well, that's also very possible. So these
Could be
are
both.
These are really just the dumbest questions ever. Here's another one.
Alix, what would you do if a boy who is telling you that you're exclusive with him has his ex-girlfriend come and stay in his bed for 3 days? He claims there is no attraction anymore and she's like a sister to him.
The old sister excuse.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going to sleep with my sister. When she's over, we're going to sleep in the same bed. She's just my sister. You know, what are you going to do? Makes a lot of sense. Is that a thing? Is that a real question? My boyfriend's sleeping in a bed with his ex and just says it's platonic?
Yeah.
It was actually Isabella submitted that question.
Maybe it was, yes. So, my last clip here, let's find out what her answer is.
Thank
I have to say that I might have answered this the same way. So I'll give her credit for this.
Don't be dumb. Girls, get it together. Don't be dumb. He shouldn't be sleeping in bed with his ex-girlfriend.
And she turned it into a song. The problem is, telling girls to not be dumb has never worked.
Does not work.
It's never
not
worked
work.
once. No. I mean, we've all tried it.
Who are these podcasts?